Good morning to you, wherever you're watching me from. My name is Lisa Dublin. I'm a health and life coach, and I help you to live, to speak, and to lead with confidence because it is everything. And I've got one question for you this morning. Do you think you're beautiful? Seriously? Do you actually think you're beautiful? Why or why not? That is our question this morning. And thank you for watching me wherever you're watching me from, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. If you're watching me on Facebook and you are in the To All the Girls Success Club, can you share the live in the club, please, somebody? I think you're able to just post it in there. I would so appreciate it if you could do that. If you're in the club and you're watching me on my main page, just share it in the To All the Girls Success Club. And if you're watching me on LinkedIn as well, thank you so much. Please like and share this video, tag somebody so that they can come on because this little topic this morning, I've been thinking about it for the entire week. As I told you yesterday, that it's just been that kind of week with full of thoughts, full of just like, very philosophical, getting into the weeds of my thoughts. And out of that comes all of these lives and things to say. So, we want to talk about beauty this morning and loving yourself. I think the two things are so connected. So, do you love yourself? What do you think of you? Are you ecstatic about how you look? Are you ecstatic about who God made you? These questions are very important. I want to start from a very surface level, just in terms of speaking and being able to do things like that. I think you would agree with me that some of the most confident speakers have to have a level of, I'm okay with myself. Yep, goes without saying. And that's okay, I think, in terms of, no, I'm okay. And some people try to get away from the question of self image by, totally being about, I don't even care how I look. It doesn't even matter to me. I just simply want to just get the message out there. But how you look and how you present yourself and the confidence and conviction, it also comes from a sense of, do I have a love affair with myself or not? And so, one of the things that we do in the Speak with Confidence program is that we dial in to image and we dial in into being confident in your own skin. Because as a client of mine was reminding me yesterday, I keep on saying it, anything that does not come from the depth of you is not going to reach the depth in other people. What that means is if you don't feel it, you can't portray it. If you don't feel it, you can't give it off. The same thing with self love. Like if you feel kindly about yourself, it is going to show. It really is. And we go some ways in the initial program to help people to come to that realization that you are okay. It's not a matter of having check boxes of what kind of skin you have, what kind of hair you have, what kind of eye color or nose. No, you guys, I have some reasons this morning that you need to love yourself. So we do that in the initial Speak with Confidence program. And I've begun to dial into these issues when the graduates from the program go into the speaking school. So in April, in March, we looked at the art of conversation. And in April, we're going to be looking at reasons to love yourself and to get on stage from that love. Reasons to love yourself and how to deal with how you think about yourself so that you get on stage as comfortably and confidently as you can. And I want to bring a little bit of that to the table this morning and ask you a couple questions and give you some reasons, right? Here's the number one reason to love yourself. Is it number one? I have it as number one, to be honest, right? I think like the first reason should be that God loves you, but not everybody's there yet. On a very practical level, you are your best thing. You are who you have. I always say to not love yourself is to be a living suicide. What do I mean by that? To look at somebody else as the ideal, to have in your head an image of what beauty is and what good is that does not entail who you are is to be always living outside of your skin and outside and in dissonance with yourself. And that is difficult. That creates problems. that makes you less confident. That means that other people are renting space in your head and not even paying rent. That's my favorite thing to say as an entrepreneur. Like, you're taking up space, you having rent inside here. This is prime real estate and you just squatting. You're not even paying rent. In there should be the image of who God says you are. In there should be yourself as the ideal, every part of yourself, from the physical to your personality. That should be the ideal, not because you think that other people are less, or because you need to love yourself and put other people down so that you can prop up yourself. That's not, no. It's a celebration. You guys, when you love somebody, nobody forces you to do that, do they? Like, you don't come at love of other people like, yeah, I should love you. Yeah, I'm forcing myself to love you today. Oh, yeah, I love you because I'm just supposed to. There's nothing else. No, you come at love from the outpouring of like and the outpouring of something in you takes to me, and I want to be next to you. And if you don't feel that way about yourself, I'd like you to start from, I love to start from who God made me to be and the fact that Christ died for me. I had to be special. No, I didn't know. Think about it. God gave his only son for you. Yeah, you thinking that you're ugly, that you're not worth it. No, God knew all of these things about you before you even did them. And then because he's out of this thing we call time, he looked into time, he saw what you would do, and he said, I still love you. I'm going to send my son. I'm going to send my only son to die for you. You now know that you had to be special. Why don't you run with that? Why don't you choose today to meditate on that sacrifice and the implications of it for how you see yourself and how you should let the world see you? I'm not even going to deal with that yet. I'm going to deal with you looking at me this morning and wondering, like, I don't love me. No, I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not handsome enough. Well, who told her? Stop. Just how you are, Christ died for you. That's a measure of value right there. You mightn't have the full extent of it or know the full implication of it, but just grasp that thing. If you were the only person on the face of the earth, Christ would still die for you. God would still send his only son to die for you. So we're coming there into the aesthetics of it, okay? Because that sacrifice, it meant a lot, and it means that you should take it to mean a lot. How then do you translate that? The biggest secret in life is that beauty is not in the eyes of the beholder. Hear what I said? The biggest secret is that beauty is what you make it to be. You are as beautiful as you think you are. Let that sink in for a moment right there. You are as beautiful as you think you are. It's not a matter of what other people say about you. It's whether you agree with them or you counter it or you offer up a sense of self-love that the world, because you feel it so strongly and you believe it so deeply, the world cannot counter it. Come with the best that you can. If I believe it because I am living it, there's nothing you can do to tell me otherwise. Now, you know how I always say this thing from Henry Ford: if you think you can or you cannot, you are right. If you think you're beautiful or you're not, you are right. It starts from you just being with yourself and looking at what God gave you. Thank you. Anne Marie says amen to that. Looking at what God gave you and saying, oh my goodness, not just start with, oh, it's enough. If that's where you are, that's good enough. At some point, stay in that space long enough to do the kind of work that takes you from, okay, if God made me, I'm enough. And then you start to look at all the parts of you. I didn't say choose the best parts, because that would be like, so in other words, what do you do with the other parts that you don't know? Everything about you was put together for a reason. And you have to look at that and brand it as beautiful, brand it as okay, brand it as pretty, brand it as amazing. And then, what if you walked out into the world today believing that you were the most beautiful person in the world? What if you walked out? What if you walked out into the world? There's not a chip on your shoulder. There's just like a fragrance around you that, oh my goodness, look at me. And then because you feel so good about yourself, you meet another one of God's creation and you react the same way because you're okay, because where you came from deep within you, where you came from within you is so full that there's overflowing to give to other people. You guys, that's how it works. I'm telling you, beauty is not in the eyes of the beholder. Ditch that. Throw that thought away. You are as beautiful as you think you are. And so you have the opportunity to kind of train the world to think about you a certain way. Okay, so let me just take the comments. I'm so enjoying this because, like, I've been thinking about it and also, like, helping a couple clients. We're getting into that space right now of self love and not as a political placard. Okay, you have to love yourself. Nah, but fall in love with you, fall in love with what God gave you. Okay, we'll come to that. Okay, let me just take these comments there because I just love this. I love having these conversations. Anne Marie says, what you are is a God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, oh my goodness, my friend's on. Hey, Michelle, brand it as beautiful. I love that. Yeah, brand yourself as beautiful. That's your label. We let other people put labels on ourselves, on us. Put your own brand on yourself. Take that generic brand, right? People try to make beautiful like something that's some kind of ideal. Like in I am not going to be a living suicide. To think of somebody else as more beautiful or as the standard is to be a living suicide to myself. If you want to make me the ideal, that's your business. Don't do that. Make yourself the ideal. But do not walk around this world as a living suicide, feeling outside of yourself and wrong sided because in your head you have an ideal that is not even true because that other person and some other people decided that was beautiful. No, that's them. That's for them. That's okay. Do you make yourself the most beautiful. And it doesn't mean that you have to denigrate other people or put them down. It's a celebration of all God made you, from the hair to the nose to the eyes to the ears, the lips, the body, whatever it is. This has to be beautiful because it's you. See what I'm saying? Thank you. Tara says, great inspiration. Thank you. You guys, like, I feel like every single day you get up, one of the things that you owe yourself is to look into that mirror and say, hi, beautiful. It will attract the who you think you are. That's okay. How you know you're doing it right is when you attract the who do you think you are. Have you ever looked at somebody and you're like I'm guilty of it too. I do not deny it. And then I come back to, hey, that's what that person is doing, just like you, Lisa. That person is branding himself or herself as beautiful. Step back, give them room, let them do them because you yourself are taking the space to do yourself, to do you, right? Beverly says, beauty is not facial, it's something. Beverly, I have to tell you, I half agree. Beauty is also facial, whatever the face is. If I think it's beautiful, it is. That's something like we do that because we don't want to we don't want to deal with the fact that we've got an ideal in our head that's not us. No, just this chipmunk face. Like, let me give you all a joke. Like, when I was growing up, right? I had a cousin who so I always had like chubby cheeks, right? I always had chubby cheeks, round face, chubby cheeks. My cheeks are cut almost in four. And he, for some reason, he didn't have another word to call it. My cousin ended up calling me nimble cheeks. I have no idea what nimble has to do with cheeks, but that was my nickname as a kid. But you have to look into this and enjoy yourself. Enjoy how God put you together. So I agree. Beauty is facial as well. Beauty is what you make it. Like you need to look into your face and every part of you and see that as beautiful. And if you do it the first time and the word beautiful doesn't come back, my sister, my brother, listening to me tonight, to this morning, hear me tonight. Like you can see, I've not even been up for very long. This is one morning where I kind of slept in, right? If that is not you, if you try this exercise and what comes back is I don't even have words, I don't like what I see, start with who God says you are. Then you begin with, if God made me, what did he say about me? God don't make ugly. Okay. He doesn't. I look at it from the inside out, and also the cosmetic. This is also is important. Like I don't like to get too philosophical with it. Yes, you have people who, they love how they look on the inside, and that's all there is. So Beverly, I do get you that it's really the both of them. Because sometimes we like to get like too saintly and too Mother Teresa-ish and be like, oh yeah, no, it's not about how I look. No, yes, it's about how you look. It's also about how you look. One of the things that we teach in the Speak with Confidence program, show up like eye candy. Nobody in this world wants to look on their phone screen or TV screen. I was about to say radio screen. Nobody. There's so many aesthetic things around. If you don't take the time to give people the gift of yourself, from the content of your speech and the quality of your ideas to how you put your physical self together, nobody's going to watch you. So, yeah, in the Speak with Confidence program, we spend time making sure that a Speak with Confidence graduate goes out looking like eye candies. Because why not? Like, why not? Why not be able to compete on that level and to even do it better? Because you're not just coming with the aesthetics, you are also coming with stuff, the art and the science of speaking. So Michelle says, we should always carry ourselves as beautiful. If we believe that we are beautiful both inside and out, then others will eventually be convinced as well. And whether they are convinced or not, you are right. And your entire life is sometimes a fight. Some people have it harder than others. Like I always heard, I could do it. I'm beautiful. That's what I heard growing up. For some people, they actually heard the opposite. But then you can do different. Then you have to begin the hard work and the internal fight and love of self to say it different and to change the narrative that's running through your head like a ticker tape. Some people literally have a ticker tape running. I am ugly. I am nothing. That's what, unfortunately, and it's not even their fault. That's what you hear. But I'm saying to you, like, it's not because that's what you hear that you have to believe it. Not every thought that comes into your head is right. You have you like thoughts. I was talking about this with a client this week, right? We were in a session, and all of a sudden something just a thought just popped out of her head, and she said it, and I stopped because I was like, okay, so where did that thought come from? Because she was about to take that thought as gospel and begin to make all sorts of plans on that one thought that was so alien to everything else that she had been trying to build. The thought just popped in. Has that ever happened to you guys? A thought just comes into your head. It's not because it comes that you have to let it in. You have the right and the responsibility to be the God, the gatekeeper for thoughts. Thoughts are not just like family that just come in, just open your front door and come and sit in your living room. No, every thought needs to stay outside until you let it in. So that's the process of being quiet and taking time every day to know what you believe and who you are. Because thoughts they come with their baggage, right? They come expecting you to just let them in. No, are you a good thought? Do you even belong here? How dare you tell me that I'm ugly? No, please. Outside, to the left, to the left. See what I mean? So we have to guard those thoughts and choose the right ones that are in tandem, that are in keeping with what we want to think about ourselves. That's why we have to be intentional about what we think. That's why affirmations are important, and waking up and saying a certain thing, or listening to the word of God or something positive. All of these things help you to go through that day in the right identity of who you are. So that's a big secret. I didn't even get to my other point, and it's already 20 minutes. Oh my goodness. You are as beautiful as you think you are. Beauty is not in the eyes of the beholder. No, it isn't. You cannot believe that, because to do that oftentimes will leave you living as a suicide. You'll be a living suicide. If you believe that this thing called beauty and being okay and being enough, if these things are the responsibility of the person who's looking at you or judging you, you are going to be a living suicide. So let us get up today and walk out there like we are loved. Walk out like you were the most beautiful person in the world. What would that look like? What smile would break on your face? How, oh my goodness. If you're just putting on your clothes and you believed and you are the most beautiful person on the face of the earth, what words would come out of your mouth today? How would you dress to go out and to step out into this world? I am all that and a bag of chips. How would you treat other people if you believed that you were the most beautiful person on the face of the earth? If I believe it, I would give grace to everybody, because home have. Grace. I would compliment you because I'm coming from a place of sufficiency. See that? I feel it this morning. I really do. It's a couple things, thank God, and I hope I'm conveying to you the fact that you are enough, and to tweak the mindset that beauty is not what you say about me. It's what I think of me. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life that with that internal struggle until it becomes a victory of showing up as who God says I am. Precious, valuable, beautiful, nothing missing, nothing broken, capable. Broken, yes, but sufficient in Him. Not having all the things in myself, but having all of it in Him. All of these things, like, that's where beauty comes from, inside and out. So no, you can't put certain words on me, and I can't accept. That's why I feel like sometimes, as especially Black people, I always go back to that, because I'm living this beautiful chocolate skin. I always go back to that, because somehow it offends people, and that's their problem. Like, you have to have a problem. It can't be me. No. I always go back to that when Black people are called the N-word, it's a lie. We need to call it for what it is. No, it has to be a lie, because this is not me. Is that deep identity of being sufficient, being beautiful, being enough, that makes you see the things that are coming at you through a certain filter. Many times, when these words are put on us, we have no filter, the filter and the barrier of being ourselves and being enough. We don't have it. And so these words hit us at a certain level. But it's like somebody looking at me and saying, "You're a man." No, that's a lie, because I know I'm a woman. You can't tell me I'm a man. I don't care what you say. Say that I have short hair. I don't care what you say. I'm a woman. So it doesn't matter. No, you're a liar. And I say it when I go speak to young Black people. Not that if it comes in your face, there has to be a comeback that it's a lie. And not to let these words be put on you like they were truth, because they are not. And I think that is where our strength lies, in knowing who you are, accepting it, and loving you for who you are. I hope you feel that love this morning. I hope you take the time to look at yourself and to walk out into this world shoulders up. You're beautiful, inside and out. No, Who told you otherwise? There, no. Beauty is not in the eyes of the beholder, darling. It isn't. No, it just can't be. Otherwise, if that was the truth, we would all be living suicides. And some people would be enjoying the spoils. Until you know different, that's what you are. So thank you for being here. Hey, last thing before I go. See, like if you like this, you get more of the same in the Speak with Confidence program. You guys need to go sign up. My podcast comes out today, later in the day, I think. Just my editor took a bit of time this time, but it's coming out later today. So please go subscribe. You can actually go to Apple. Let me just put it on the screen. You can go to Apple or to Spotify and subscribe to Basement Chronicles. The minute the podcast drops, you're going to get a notification. That's what you want. Okay. So, Instagram, if you're watching on Instagram, you can go to my the link in my bio, tap that link, and it will take you to the Basement Chronicles website or to Apple, I think it is, and you can just subscribe. Make it easy on yourself. So this weekend, take some time to look in the mirror and say that I'm beautiful. Like you see this thing called beauty, this is mine to decide. I'm taking that power back. Right? There's one time where these cliched words actually work. When you decide what beautiful is, you are literally taking your power back from the world and you're giving it to yourself to be able to use as an instrument to get up and speak, get up and present, to do great things in the world because you're coming from a place of I am enough. I said it. Okay, folks, I think my mic just went out. So it definitely it's time to end. Have a wonderful weekend, wonderful Easter. Happy Easter to you and your family. Take some time finally to just reflect on the intensity of Christ's sacrifice for you, what it obtained for you, and to kind of aspire to that life, the high life, because that is what the sacrifice actually meant. It's beyond the traditional food on a day. It is the intensity of the sacrifice that determines the intensity of the reward. So go after the rewards of being in Christ. Bye, everybody. Take care. I'll see you next week.